Like a puppy.
Puppy.
The paw.
Just look
Toby.
at him. Just a little guy.
There's a little guy.
Just a
Just a
little
little
guy.
guy.
Just a
What
little
a
guy.
distinguished gentleman.
I
He's
just
trying to figure
love.
out what's
I
going
love
on.
how he's trying to figure out. Hi, buddy. Hi. I got your nose. No, it doesn't work like that.
No,
No, it doesn't.
right.
No. It's like, nope, I'm done with you. Um, but welcome back, everybody. Where we left off, our party has reunited finally after a couple weeks away from each other. They've told stories of their adventures and plan and prepare for a venture into the Feywild in order to help Orchid find the cure for a Fey ritual conducted on her sister. As you guys prepared, Corvus enacted a bonding exercise of sorts in order for you all to refocus, recollect, and reinforce your relationships with one another. You then very quickly packed up your stuff, got to a tree, the tree opened, and you were zipped to the city of Minthabo. We are going to retcon slightly back to those moments when they were all together in the Wormhaven Manor, where Art, you will have the opportunity now to speak what is on your mind. Corvus, do you want to restate what the conditions were for this activity that you conducted?
Um, I don't have the specific conditions, but I believe it's supposed to address what you want to accomplish, and what each person means to you in this journey. That way, everyone knows where you're going and why you're with us.
Cool.
That's like it. That's the whole thing. It's actually very simple. It wasn't supposed to be so explosive, but you're welcome.
Yeah, all my notes from last session say to the Feywild eventually tickle thistle and heart to hearts.
Eden
welcome.
is proven to be as useless as we expect.
It's just a Charlie Day with the lines drawn behind him of all of like the character relationships.
Yep.
But all the papers are blank.
I was speaking of blank papers. As this exchange occurs and everyone shares their heart to heart with each other, and eventually Art is the last one who has not spoken. Art looks around at everyone, incredibly wide-eyed, and seems almost dumbstruck. Starts to try to say something and pauses, can't quite get the words out. Starts to say something again, and the words just don't seem to come. Eventually, he pauses for a moment, reaches into his pockets, and pulls out his very worn leather notepad and starts scribbling in it frantically for a couple of minutes. And eventually he stops, looks it over, seems somewhat satisfied with his work. To anyone who happens to overlook it and see what he's writing, it looks like absolute gibberish. But he seems to be able to read it okay with no problem. He holds up his notebook and starts reading out to everyone. There's a lot of kind words being shared right now. I'm not good at this sort of thing. I'm better with problems that can be solved mathematically, or algorithmically, or arcanically, or logically. I've gathered a lot of knowledge in my lifetime. I love to learn. I'm still learning, and will always desire to know more. I want to understand the world, and how everything in it works. There's still a lot I don't know. I'm a lot to handle for many. I've been made to understand that I can be too much, or annoying, or dangerous. I've heard my own family members refer to me as unnatural. And maybe there is some truth in that. When I set my mind to something, I've become what I've heard referred to as fixated or obsessed. Tunnel vision, I think, is another phrase I've heard used. I kind of tend to forget that the world around me exists, and I dedicate all my attention and existence to whatever my focus is. And it's caused me to miss details in my calculations. The most prominent being outside factors, such as who might be affected by my obsession. Spark is a prime example of that. As smart as I am, I don't always think before I act, as my dad's tried to explain to me. Because of this, I don't tend to make many friends. I had one a long time ago. My best friend. My only friend. Their name was Spart. They were from one of my families in my clan. They didn't find my obsessions weird. They liked being with me. We had a lot of fun together. They liked to sneak away with me to the water and feed the ducks. They taught me how to throw a boomerang. I really miss those days. My family, my former family, mined the mountains of the steppes just east of Finklintug, and that was all they knew. They told me that's what I was supposed to do too, but I didn't like it. I wanted to read. I wanted to learn about the world. I was told my desires were shameful. They told me that's not what we do. It was my job to be a good member of the family, to help the clan, and to be a miner like everyone else. Then I had an idea. I had an idea on how to use a combustible contraption that could speed up the mining process threefold. I did the calculations, and Spart joined me for the grand reveal. I thought I had the calculations perfect. But there was an explosion that started a cave-in. I almost got caught in the rubble. I'm not the fastest runner. But before that happened, Spart grabbed me and shoved me out of the collapse. And I lost my only friend that day. I hadn't done any other inventions or contraptions until the day I made Spark. And ever since that day, I've been afraid of really getting attached to anyone. I've never felt anything like that feeling of loss I felt that day. And I never wanted to feel that way again. Even Dolkar here, I can be a little protective with. I went through a similar pain when Spark was lost. And well, spending time with all of you is the longest I've stayed in any one place since the day I was banished from my home. I've never truly understood the concept of love outside of what I've read in books. They say it's supposed to feel like safety. They say you're supposed to feel warm and fuzzy. They say that you feel pain when you're away from them. And well, being with all of you is the closest I've been to feeling that way since before I lost Spart. I also miss Hale. They were kind, they were a wealth of knowledge, and I still hope to pick their various brains so much more the next time we meet. They have Spart's boomerang, so I know it will happen one day. Corvus, you're a very different person than I first thought you to be. I found you fascinating from the moment I met you, but I still have so much more to learn from someone who's lived so many lifetimes. I'm happy you call me friend, and I hope I can do the same with you. And I promise one day I will find a permanent solution to fixing your boot. Finara, I have a lot of fun when I'm with you too. You're happy and curious, and it reminds me a lot of Spart. You see the good in people, and I like that about you. I still have much I hope to learn from you when it comes to interacting with others. And we will one day perfect that magical fruity alcohol drink from the Feywild. I will need you for further taste testing. Orchid, I believe credit should be given where it's due. Our prison escape was a team effort. You helped me with the tasks that were outside my capabilities. And what's more, you didn't question my plans or efforts and were willing to help me. Your kindness has not gone unnoticed, and I find myself happy in your presence. I still hope to find you a preferred angiosperm to take inspiration for your name one day. Perrin, you use many fancy words that I still struggle to fully understand. I'm getting better at comprehending double meaning, but I still have a long way to go, and I hope you can continue to teach me. I'm not sure what you mean by butter holding everyone together, because butter is an emulsion that usually offers a lubrication rather than sticking effect, but I deduce it to be some form of expression of affection. And if my deduction is correct, I appreciate you. I look up to you. And I value your presence in my life. And I hope to keep you there for some time. Oh, and Perrin, if you're looking to be the cheerleader of the group, it's to my understanding that a cheerleader requires a uniform. So if someone here can come up with a design, I'd be happy to see if I can fabricate something appropriate. And Eden, you do not fit any definitive description of a monster. You are not wicked, you are not cruel, you are not ugly, and while you are significantly taller than me, you do not possess any noticeable deformity that would be required to constitute a monstrous appearance. I still remain unconvinced that you are anything other than some subspecies of angel. You are kind, you have a desire to protect people you care about, you have a way with animals, you make me feel warm, fuzzy, and unusual feelings when you're around, and I find myself happier when you are around. And the only logical conclusion is that you are some form of angelic presence. I find everything about you curious. And I find myself driven to learn more about you. Also, I'm very intrigued and very much would be fascinated to discuss what the body parts did when you were working with Solus. I've spent the past several years fearful of attachment for the damage it's done to those I've cared about in the past. And nevertheless, I find myself firmly attached to each and every one of you, and the notion of being away from any of you makes me sad. I struggle to consider those that birthed me and raised me to be my family, even if they are definitively so. What I've experienced being around all of you is so much more like what I've read about in stories. What a family is supposed to be like. My primary objective is still to help Spark. I owe them a lot, and I want to do what's best for them. However, I've also found new purpose in my presence with all of you. And I feel compelled to... I feel like Perrin would say, pay it forward, as they say. You're supposed to help your family. You all have helped me. And now I want to help all of you if you'll allow me to. And, well, if my previously mentioned understanding of what constitutes love proves to be accurate, I think I can conclude that I feel love for my dads, I feel love for Dokar, I feel love for Spark, and I feel love for all of you. The most important people in my life, and even with my vast imagination, I can no longer imagine life without. That's where I stand.
Little
And
buddy.
Art closes the book.
Orchid will come in and pick you up in a hug.
Oh, we hear you. We see you. We acknowledge you.
And we thank you.
End of
Yar.
uniform.
It's
Oh,
got to be
did-
something with fucking color, right? Like in with a little skirt, and I can like. Whoop, excuse me. But it is
You make the
exciting.
idea, I will make it happen.
Oh, I would sure love to see what you come up with. Goodness.
All right.
So,
Ben, were
So-
you
Can
going to
we?
say something?
Oh, just that was just so touching. I was not prepared for. Thank you. I just need a hug. And then she's gonna go and run. While she's like crying and like embrace Art, like, but she's gonna go on her knees to do so. So she's at the same level. To give him the biggest hug, and she's gonna probably kiss his cheek.
Art gives an awkward hug back.
Very kind Art. Thank you.
I don't really have the capacity to lie, so it's all true.
Well, Barbo, should we go?
Let's be.
All right.
We're off to see the Feywild.
And with that, we're gonna fast forward all the way back through.
And are we rolling our hit die now?
Yeah,
Alright,
let's
Oh, right.
as you go through the opening in the tree, let's everybody roll your hit die. And I'm going to get my thing open.
Well, that checks out.
That way I can update everybody's hit die on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eden.
You wanna know mine?
Orchid. Hang on, Art. I'm opening everybody's so that way I can do it real quick. Finara, Corvus, and Perrin. That's everybody, yeah?
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Eden, what did you take a level in and what did you go up to?
I took a level in Rage Monster Barbarian. And if I had kept my roll from last week, that would be different. But since you decided to make me roll today, I rolled an 11 on the die.
So you're at a 60.
No. So now my Toto is actually, that puts me at a 75.
What?
You didn't put my last one in, did you?
Oh shit, I must not have. Oh my god, this is scary. What were you at beforehand?
I was at 62, but
Ew.
you know.
This is ew. Ugh. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Perfect.
Beefy time modes. I will definitely get killed now because
Oh no, I had 62, 75. I was looking at the wrong one. Cool. Orchid.
I just rolled a 10, which is nice.
Nice.
I had some really garbage rolls in the
And
last
that-
couple levels.
Taking a level of paladin, I take it,
Yes.
and bumping you up to what's your total?
68.
68 HP. Nice. Art.
Almost nice, not quite nice. Thank you.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. For a total of.
That brings me out to a grand total of 48.
Woof.
Wait, oh, you have. Oh, snap. Wait, no, you have a. What?
I rolled very poorly the last couple levels.
Yeah,
I
but
was
hang
the
on.
same.
But plus
I was
your
really
con
bad.
modifier, that means you should be at least at 49. Yeah, you'd be at 49 if you roll a 2. Because you'd be, yeah, because you have
I think
plus one
I think the
mod.
con was already calculated into that.
Oh,
but...
snap. Then you only rolled a 1 then. Ew.
No, I rolled it. I rolled a 2, but it has. I thought on D&D Beyond it shows the con already added in, does it not? So you just
That's
have to
right.
It does. Okay. Yeah, if it's
so
already thrown in.
48.
Cool. All right.
Woof.
Paper don't look so dumb now. Do it.
Finara. Would you
Roll
take a
me
level?
right
Well,
now.
Art, would you take a level in Artificer?
Yes.
Finara, go ahead and roll.
I'm full cleric, baby. Me and Art.
You got a 2 as well.
Woo, we're so cool.
What's that? What's that
We
bring
are
your
the
total?
squishies.
What's that bring your total up to?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Why do
you're
I
at-
have a feeling I'm about to be the squishiest out
What-
of everyone?
Whatever your current HP is, plus your con mod, plus your dice roll.
Oh no, it messed it up. I forgot what I was at before because I went to level because I was adding the spell, so this is not accurate.
I think
I
you're
think
good.
I was
You're at 40. You should be at. I'll double check it. You're fine.
okay. I
Corvus,
messed up.
you're good.
I took a level in monk, and I rolled a 1.
Oh
Ouch.
snap! So that means
The lowest
you're.
roll so far.
I gained 2 HP.
So you should be at what? 49.
I would be at 50.
50. Ew.
I think I am the lowest now.
Oh wait, I see right here. It just came up. I was waiting for my sheet to come up on the thing. I was at 45 hit points before.
So you'd go up 4. So you'd be at 49.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, correct. I would be at 49 because it does count my con already.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
I am the squishiest. It is.
All
So
right.
we're both me and
My mind.
Corvus. How is that making sense? Are the same?
I don't know.
I
Because
just
you
looked
guys have-
off.
monks and clerics have the same hit dice, so you guys must have rolled about average. Like you guys averaged the same rolls.
Oh my
um,
God.
Last but not least, with their current hit points at 49, Perrin Hope Singer.
I rolled an 8.
Oh,
And so my total hit points are now 59.
let's
Ooh,
go.
look at you.
I don't like that Perrin has more
Yeah, but what's
than
that?
me.
What's that level though?
Y'all, it's time to dip into the shadows. Perrin has gone one level in a rogue, baby.
What?
It's time to get some sneak attack in there.
All right.
Perrin, Eden, and Corvus were up to some shit, and it got kind of
Fanara
dark.
missed
so,
out apparently. Okay.
Yeah. So
Accurate. That's some shit.
Perrin's
Alright.
gonna get up to some shenanigans
gonna
when
be-
people aren't looking now.
I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very interesting having a wonderful concoction of a lot of party members who can mesh, like their skill sets mesh together very well.
Oh, I'm a back row fighter now.
I have less than 50 HP. I'm standing behind everyone.
I'll bring you back to life.
So
It's fine.
what I'm hearing is I should stop fighting in melee range.
You're
You
still
know,
doing
we're
that?
gonna throw you into melee range so that I can stay
Oh,
back
good.
here.
Oh,
We're
good.
gonna cast catapult on Art.
Yeah, what happens if Art casts catapult on himself? He doesn't take any damage from his spell, right? Like,
No, quite the opposite actually. Unless I cast catapult on something I'm holding, if that even works.
All right.
Hold onto that rock and don't let go.
but with that, you all step through this opening in the bark of the tree that you see outside the city of Deepwell, near the small shrine to the Changebringer. As you step through, you are immediately met with this cool breeze. And as your feet find purchase on the soft, almost moss-like floor, you immediately feel this constant shift. Almost like Fenara, it's very reminiscent to being on a boat. It's this very soft rocking. Above you, you can see the boughs of this giant willow that's protruding from the chest of this much larger tree-like being. Above, you can see a singular palace sitting atop the shoulders of this wandering city. Below you, you can see a small market, dozens of feet below, a small spiral stairwell that leads down the side of the body into this main thoroughfare. Before you, you can see trees hundreds of feet tall, scouring, like completely covering the landscape. Your vision just barely breaking the top or the lowest boughs of these trees. You are now all in Menthable, the wandering city. As you exit Orchid, Fenara, Art, you are greeted by the familiar face of Bowmother Ganora, a mature-looking elven woman, longer dark hair, and wearing a simple cloak, now shifted from her robes that she wore earlier, to wearing like simpler traveler's garbs almost, and a cloak made of patterned leaves of the different seasons. Welcome back, Sister Orchid.
I think we're ready. Thank you so much for bringing us back.
She takes a minute to look at each of your companions. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, allow me.
Quite a diverse group, I know.
Yes, I'm Ganora. I don't Bowmother Ganora. I don't know if Orchid made mention of me. I'm caretaker of the boughs above and much of the forest below. You are all to venture with her into the Feywild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm her bodyguard.
All right. I will only be venturing with you to drop you off, and then I will be returning back here.
Why?
Truly grateful.
Because Orchid requested our aid in multiple places, and the more dire of the needs are in the Isles. Gallandan the forces are almost prepared. Gallandan will be ready, and we will be traveling upon my return back here to Menthable.
Eden will lean forward into Orchid, just behind Orchid. I feel like we're missing some of this story, Orchid. I don't know that we actually asked you everything that happened. It's Eden will then slink back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we probably have a bit of a walk to do, so I hope we can fill you in a little bit. Although I don't know how close she's dropping us off. Do you know? Have you been there, or is that why you're able to take us?
I've been to the Feywild, yes. I have not been to the specific place that you've mentioned, so I can get us what I would believe to be close, but not quite there.
Yep. Right.
All right. It will take me a few moments to prepare the circle. So if you want to, what's the best word? Inform your friends of where I will be going after this, you may. And she turns and begins to set up and start carving these arcane sigils into the grass. And it almost looks as if the grass, not like dies, but turns like that like darker brown color. I guess it would be considered dying, but like dries out as she's carving this into the grass. And she begins to do that. While she's doing that, if you want to catch folks up, you may.
Okay. Gosh, I can't even remember what I told you. What do you feel like you're missing? Is it the other, like the stuff that's happening in the islands? Is it the whole thing? Should I just start from the beginning?
That all sounds like a lot, and I don't know if we have that much time. I just meant like what's happening with the islands, because that sounds like there's an army or something.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure if my taste buds of memory are correct, your people are taking on the Zentarum and just gonna give them a good old whack to stop them from being all concrete and stuff.
Kind of. I mean, it's definitely the Zentharum, whatever dialects. But so we're a temple, right? And we're trying to maintain neutrality, but we're also sort of not, the veneer of neutrality, but we're taking in all the refugees and sort of fomenting rebellion within our walls, and it's all very complicated. And things were getting extremely tense when I left. There have been increasing attacks, and they were starting to target people inside the temple because they, it was just obvious what was going on. And it's been months now. I have no idea how bad it's gotten. But they sent me here to get help.
Let's go get it.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
and so that's what she's doing. But also, they sent my sister the Feywild because she was one of the people who was attacked. And apparently, the attack, they're also working with somebody from the Feywild, but the Night Court, and she was pierced with something from the Frost Queen, Ice Queen, Winter Queen.
Not Queen? Wait, no.
Some sort of ice magic that put her into a endless sleep.
Do I
Eden?
know anything based on my talks with Dolus, aka my boyfriend?
Roll an roll Arcana with advantage.
Okay. Okay. So that is a 19 plus 7. I don't want to math. That's 26.
Not
Yeah.
Not mother.
Yeah, so
Right.
you would know that the Dolus has actually had a friend who has a tangentially similar experience. They weren't pierced with anything; they physically had their heart removed.
Yes.
However,
was that
same
person.
same process by the same court and the same group of people within the court. Yeah. This is very much Winter Court, either dealing with the Winter Queen herself or the Princesses of Frost, which are her daughters.
Gotcha. Cool.
Anyway, I am really nervous. Are you guys nervous?
You mean
What do you-
walk into a realm that probably won't know what to think of somebody like me? Or
Oh,
that we are going
gosh,
somewhere
no, I
where
mean-
apparently there are fey people that they're trying to stop people's heart from beating, or taking them out of their chest, or where there could be
Hey.
all kinds.
Sorry, what are you nervous about?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's like going to a place that raised me, seeing people for the first time in like a decade, and also seeing my sister, who they said she's still alive, but she's still asleep. And we fought the last time we talked, and it wasn't a nice fight. And I'm just really nervous right now.
Aaron just is looking, keeping eyes locked with Orchid as she's saying this, and just off to the side, just takes his sister's hand and then like puts it into Orchid's hand and just like lets go and just puts his arms back.
Well, now I'm nervous for a different reason.
It's all right. You never know. We might be able to really help your sister. There might be a way.
Maybe you could just focus on something else for a minute, huh? And he just kind of like smiles, looks at the two of them, and just kind of like goes over to watch the bow mother.
Blush.
And
Just
Right. I just feel like I'm just like the cartoon character where the red just like goes up and then steam comes out of her ear.
yeah, I'm just gonna watch the bow mother do her little sigil thingy and just kind of like take stock of what she's doing.
Okay. She continues to trace these runes in almost like a circular pattern. Not completely fully circular, but as much as one can be. And when she's done, she pulls a singular scale from her cloak and places it into the center. Before turning to you all. When you are ready, we may step in and I can activate the circle here.
What's that from?
It's from a creature that I would hope you will never run into one day. It's known as a Jabberwock.
That sounds like a fantastic name, and I would like to at least see it because a name like that makes me excited.
I don't know. Okay, now I'm curious what about the word makes you so excited?
Think about it. It has like nearly every possible consonant sound to it. Jabber, walk. Like it's fantastic. It is a word unto its own self, honestly.
Well, I hope you can see it from afar.
What does it look like?
It is a
The jaws, the bite, the claws, the catch.
I mean, yes, as your friend has said, it is a dragon of immeasurable size and ferocity.
Okay, now you're just talking gibberish. All right, let's get out of here.
So it's a dragon, and you have a scale in your hand, confirming that they did exist, at least at one point.
Perrin?
When I left, it was still alive.
This is absolute casual. Okay, thank you,
Oh,
Bow
you
Mother.
know what? There's a way to confirm. Avadra might have blessed me with a certain tool to be able to execute that. If we're really curious, if you really want to know, just saying.
I can also
Not
I also might be able to
fine.
verify its validity if you give me about 10 minutes or so.
You know,
I would actually like to not wait and step into whatever this is, so that we could go.
Fine. You're just upset that you are proven wrong. As Eden will like step forward into the.
Nobody proved nothing.
There is physical evidence.
And again, there's a way for me to determine whether or not this kind of individual is telling the truth or not. But you said no, let's just go.
We have things to do.
you know, as much as I would love to prove Perrin wrong in the dragon thing, he is right that we really should
Yeah,
go.
we
We've
need to
already
not
proven.
get distracted. All right.
But Perrin, you are wrong and you are silly for saying this. I do need to. I feel like I need to say that. Yeah. But it's kind of cute how stuck you are on this, if I'm honest.
Art scribbles
Yeah.
into his notebook and makes a tally, and on one side it shows family, on the other side it shows Perrin, and Art puts a tally on the family side.
With that, you all step in to this circle. Ganora leans down and picks up the scale and holds it. Mutters something very quickly, and then in a flash of light, you all disappear from Mythville. Where you reappear as your vision starts to come back, I need Orchid to roll me a D100, please.
Don't mess this up.
It's a 73.
73. I need everybody to roll me a D4,
Including me?
including you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Oculus die. Okay, that's not awful.
Two. So we got 3, a 2, a 2, a 3, a 1, and a Zim.
And a 3.
A 3. That
And
was
a 3. And a 3.
Sorry. He was
No, you're good.
moving about here.
No, I
Our
get
little
it.
mythical man.
Little puppy. Listen, when we need the Jabberwock, I'll have him come in.
Named after
They have the
a dragon prince.
Yeah, Ozymandias.
You
We also
all...
gonna make the Chub Bird and the frumiest Bandersnatch.
I don't know. Maybe a guy who wears a bunch of hats. I don't know. Where you find yourselves is in a field, surrounded by, as far as the eye can see, flowers. Every shape, color, size, delineation. This is a very, the sun beats down on you. It's warm, but not hot. The breeze, cool, temperature, pretty mild. As far as the eye can see are flowers. Behind you, not too far away, you can see this forest, a combination of thickets and brambles and trees with this almost not quite gray sheen to it, but this just dull texture compared to the flowers in which you're standing in currently. Orchid, you would recognize those, or that space or that area, as part of what would be considered or called the gray space. A path between the different courts, the different specific courts. So that way there isn't an immediate flooding of the two and immediate conflict. A border zone, a no man's zone, if you wish. Where you are now, Orchid, you'd be able to very easily identify as somewhere within the vastness of the Spring Court.
Only somewhere.
Roll me a survival check.
All right. I mean, to be fair, it's been a long time, and it's the Feywild, so like that's yeah, reasonable. It's a 9.
9. Not quite sure right now. Perrin.
Guide.
Perrin's gonna pull out his dagger, and he's literally just gonna like go over to where there are flowers, and just start like trimming things, and just kind of over his shoulder, he just kind of goes, "So, where are we headed? Any idea, direction, perhaps?"
Eden will start walking towards the gray area.
That's probably not the right direction. No, don't go that way.
Dola said that those areas would probably safe travel for the most part.
Art walks up to a similar plant to Perrin and starts copying him.
You know that I don't know if you should. It's whatever. I turn to the bow mother. You were able to contact one of the people there, right?
Yes, I believe I spoke with. Wait,
Enrin?
what? Enarin? Yes, I believe I spoke with Enarin.
Could you ask her to send somebody to bring us? I think that's probably the safest bet.
Uh, yes. Let me. And she focuses for a second. Let me. Hello again. This is Bow Mother Gonora of Minthable. I am contacting you on behalf of Orchid. She requests you send an envoy to guide them to your home. Enarin says that she will send somebody as soon as she is able, and to wander as you see fit, I guess would be the best way to translate. Well, it was a little cryptic, but basically feel free to peruse, and she will find you. They will find you when they're ready.
And we don't have a time frame.
The Fae don't work on our time.
Right. Well, thank you again for bringing us here. And for sending the message.
You are very welcome. Is there anything you need of me before I leave?
Ma'am. Nothing.
Nothing comes to mind. I really appreciate your generosity in helping us.
All right. And she just pretty much right where she is just starts recarving another circle into the flowers. You watch as some of the flowers start to not wilt, but just kind of change colorations, kind of die a little bit, but not fully. Before she vanishes, she pulls out a little what looks to be a sprig of the willow that was above, and she returns to the material plane.
At this point, Perrin is just collecting one flower of every color that he can find. Just going down to the root, cutting it, and then just picking up the next one, and then absent-mindedly weaving.
As the two of you are cutting, because Art said that he was mimicking as well.
I am mimicking, and I'm also picking up the scraps and putting them in my pockets.
Can you both make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh yeah, I can, brother.
Thank you.
Happy Pride. Time to use my rainbow dice. Hell yeah. Constitution saving throw. Well, that's okay. I mean, 13.
14 myself.
With a 13, well, with 13, you are cutting and you've got a decent fistful of flowers. And as you're sitting there and you're getting ready to cut the last batch, you cut the last batch and put it into your hands. And you can smell this aroma coming from the flowers. It doesn't smell horrible. It smells like a sweet perfume. And as you're sitting there and smelling it and taking it in, you almost just fall into the sitting position, natural sitting position, to sit there and lose track of time and space and just get really comfy, smelling the flowers and looking off into the distance. Art, you, because of all of your experiments, your nose has no sense of smell. And because of this, you are unaffected. But you see off to the side as you're picking flowers, and like you're following almost in Perrin's shadow enough to be able to recognize that this happens to Perrin.
Perrin? Art's gonna reach into his bag and is going to pull out a very familiar, friendly little critter. Well, we'll see if this works. About face, tail up.
Oh.
And, yeah, we're gonna see if we can snap Perrin out of this.
Oh my gosh. So normally it would be a save.
Mm-hmm.
However, since whatever's about to happen to him is going to be a direct counter like to the smell of the flowers. I'm gonna say it works similar to to lesser restoration in this sense, and it just overcomes. But describe to me, well,
We don't need a description.
Instead of asking the cleric in the group to come by.
No, all we see from the distance is suddenly Art just turns the skunk
My
around.
hand is still in Orchid's hand, so I'm distracted. So I didn't
say
see
hello
it.
to my little friend. It's just the skunk.
Eden is kind of meandering towards the gray area. It looks back and just sees Art hold a skunk butt up to Perrin.
You see this plume of green gas.
And Perrin just puts the flower crown he's woven onto his head. What happened? What? Why?
You were gone for a second there, but I think you're back now, so it looked like it worked.
Okay. Whatever you say, mate.
I can
And
smell
he's
you from
just-
over here.
Oh, what? Oh,
Perrin just goes to prestidigitation, and it's gone for at least
God.
the next minute.
Roll a d4
Or
for
sorry,
me.
1 hour. D4. That's a 1.
One for the next day. Your clothes are gonna smell of skunk.
Great. I'm just gonna keep every hour just reapplying prestidigitation.
Oh, with prestidigitation, never mind. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, what kind of skunk butt?
But that means you're gonna be
powers.
waking up all night going, ugh. That or one of us is gonna poke you and be like, stop the
You got-
stench.
you gotta
We're
fix
gonna
that.
have to wash those clothes, and you're gonna have to wash yourself. Oh my god!
I'd like to make
just-
note.
I'm just gonna get
Corvus
lips.
is on high alert the entire time, ignoring what's going on with them and just showing very clear discomfort of all things Feywild.
Eden is smirking at Corvus, noticing this, and is walking towards the gray area.
After managing to snap Perrin out of it, Art's gonna finish collecting the various scraps from the ground and is going to be categorically dividing them into the jars based on what they are, whether it's like stems or petals or whatnot.
Why on earth did Dakar do that? I mean, what was the reasoning behind doing?
Well, Perrin wasn't responding when I was trying to get his attention, so I thought that maybe he might have been under the influence of something, so I just thought quickly on what would possibly snap him out of it.
Oh,
That seems pretty extreme.
well, I mean, I
What?
guess we need to be on alert then about these things.
Yeah, that is true. should be on alert here. I'm gonna climb a tree if there's a tree that looks sturdy enough to hold my weight and see if I can get our bearings.
Has anyone seen Eden?
Baron just like points as she's
Yeah, you guys.
walking away.
Aiden,
And at
Corvus
this
can still
point,
see Eden, like, mm-hmm.
at this point, Eden's like maybe a couple hundred feet away, because you guys were almost on the fringe, like of this space. So as Eden's walking over, now at this point probably only a couple hundred feet away. I need Eden. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
I was gonna say something before that happened.
Go for it.
But I was trying to not interrupt.
No,
So when she asked on for what was happening. Fanara, while Orchid is probably trying to get higher ground, she's going to kind of like say a quick prayer to Avandra. There is like a slight kind of like light around Fanara's shape that kind of goes in and out like a wave. She's actually casting Aura of Purity at the moment. So everyone basically within her sphere, which is, I believe it's 30 feet of me, is kind of protected against, or at least has advantage on certain saving throws. So, yeah.
Perfect.
This is a new kind of warm and fuzzy to what I was talking about earlier.
Aaron just kind of like leans back and takes a deep breath. Oh, that's the sea there, mate. That's what you're missing.
Do I have advantage?
Not for that. I don't know.
I was just curious. If not, it's not bad. I was just curious.
I'll say no, since you've already declared several times that you're wandering toward the gray.
Yeah.
And
that is a
I will
21.
say, and with the aura being casted, seeing that no one else is like dealing with it, Corvus will approach cautiously towards Eden.
21.
Okay.
Just checking it out.
I'm gonna message you something really quick.
Oh god.
No.
I just wanted to look at it. Don't listen to the gray stuff to say.
And then I'm gonna address Orchid, and I'll come back to you while you type your response. Orchid, there aren't many trees, and they're really more of like hedges, if they are anything, or like those trees that look more like bushes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
No, I know exactly what
you can climb up and around one and like finagle your way through to give yourself at least a couple feet of vantage to be able to look and see around. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. Let's use this die. Well, it's a 19 plus 3. 22.
22. You notice that it's hard to gauge direction. The sun is almost what would be at its peak.
And if these are bush trees, we probably don't have the moss on one side.
No. And it's also the Feywild, so like it's the moss on the one side, the right side, or the wrong side. And you would know that. There isn't really a direction. You just kind of follow what you see. But you would see far off in the distance what looks to be some sort of small house or cottage. That would be to your, what like we'll use north, like northeast-ish. To your west would be where the gray is, where that gray border is. And then looking around to the southeast, you can see that there is looks to be like a hill, and you can very clearly see something moving across the horizon of the hill.
How big of a something?
Visible from where you are, it's maybe a couple miles out. Looks about the size of a cart, maybe a little bit bigger.
Interesting. but like other than that, I'm not really sure what it could be.
No, not at least with like where you're at currently now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does
Eden.
the cottage look familiar? Oh, sorry.
Oh, the cottage. Cottage is maybe about a half mile or so out.
Oh, I'm like, did it look familiar? I mean, I assume I didn't really leave that area, so.
From where you would have been, no, it's hard to say. You didn't really have the experience of being very worldly in the Feywild, so
Yeah, for sure.
because of that, this could just be a random place that popped up, and you'd have no idea. Eden. As you make your way closer to the edge of this gray forest, or graying forest, you start to see movement and shifting in the trees. It starts small, almost at the base, as if it was this kind of roiling black mass. And it's just kind of shifting along the fringes until you start to get closer. And when you get to be about, I don't know, maybe about 100 feet out at this point, it stops. It kind of not coalesces, but shifts into a standing form, if you will. You see the singular yellow eye open from the center of it, black pupil kind of move up, down, as the space opens, and you can see these, like, not jagged, but like just misshapen teeth of various sizes within. Just smile at you. And in the blink of the eye, that form changes into that of a lumbering beast, standing well over 6.5, 7 feet tall, covered in fur, sharp claws, jowl, a little bit of drool hanging from it, eyes red and beady, staring at you.
Eden will start to kind of like fumble backwards.
Corvus, you're making your way over to her at this point.
Nothing, but it like the usual kind of pinkish tone that Eden is like turning stark white. Eden is like actively in fear and just starts backing up.
Do the rest of us see this?
Yeah, as I'm approaching, is this something I see or is this something only?
Well, with your perception, they could see into next campaign. With a 25, you can very visibly, I'd say, for people who are more in this like central clump where Orchid is moving and like scouring the landscape for something, no. But for you, Corvus, because you're making your way, very actively making your way to Eden, you follow her line of sight into the forest, and you just see this giant bipedal, almost wolf-like creature standing in the shadow of the forest.
Okay, so distance from me to Eden and distance from me to this thing, like
you're probably about you're probably about 200 feet out from the creature, and about 100 from Eden. So if Eden's smack dab in the middle of the two of you.
Corvus is going to continue approach. I'm going to slow my pace down just to not basically try not to have this creature react to my motion to get within arm's reach of Eden. It's not necessarily stealth, but if it needs to be a stealth, I'm trying to just move slow enough to not startle it so I can get to Eden.
Make for the sake of this, make a stealth check, I'd say.
Okay.
Does it won't be coming out of the wood I need to know. Is it staying there? Does it
As
look
you
like
are
it's trying to
making,
come out?
as you are taking steps backward, it is not taking steps forward. And you notice this after your first couple of steps.
And it's a 22 on stealth.
Okay.
At which point Eden is frozen in fear.
I'm
Just
still.
actively, completely freezes up, does not move, turns stark white, just
Keep
cannot
approaching.
even.
Slowly approaching.
As you begin to approach, and you take a step back, Eden, you watch as a second one of these forms coalesce next to the first, coming out of the shadow of the wood. To its right, a third to its left. Corvus, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw as you approach.
Hell.
That is an 18.
An 18. What you see staring at these things is these three. They look very reminiscent of aura and oozes, though they aren't quite oozes. They're more of just this roiling black energy. This bulbous yellow eye in the center of it. These almost like bucked and jagged teeth that make up the mouth portion. Just kind of jeering, almost laughing at the fear that they are inducing in Eden.
Yeah. But I'm like not affected by it, right?
Correct.
I'm
Whatever
gonna
fear
keep
has
trying.
struck Eden has not affected you.
I'm continuing my approach towards Eden until I can get within distinctly arm's reach, while keeping an eye on those things. I want to make sure I'm waiting for their approach as I keep getting to Eden. So if they make a move, I'm changing my tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I think Eden is getting slightly angry, like, sitting there in this, like, inability to move. So, like, eyes are kind of inking over, doing the red thing, but we're still just, like, unable to move at the moment. But we're just, like, staring down at whatever is gathering there.
If I can get within range, I want to step in front of Eden to obscure vision, and then the intention is to take Eden and head the opposite direction of these things.
Okay. As Corvus steps in front of you, blocks your vision from them, you kind of shake out of it, Ian.
Did you see that?
No words. Just keep moving.
Which way?
And like Corvus will place kind of one hand on the shoulder and another one like kind of on like the bicep of your other arm, just in case we need to like adjust position, and we'll motion for you to just kind of keep stepping backwards. So he's pushing you in the direction we need to go. Once we've cleared about 30-ish feet, I want to like look back myself to see if these things made any approach.
You turn around. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, there. Just want to know if I had to kill him.
That's an 11.
With an 11. Looks as if they've gone back into the woods.
I don't like you said it looks like that.
I get it.
They weren't making any noise, right? That was the key thing. We could see them, but no actual noise.
They were making noise in the sense of like small
Mimicking.
mimicking. Yeah, so like what you heard, what both of you would have heard because they would have made the noise regardless of what they look like. Was this kind of like low growl.
Yeah.
Do we see that now at this point?
I would say it's about that time when you guys see like Corvus is getting in front of Eden and turning her around, and the two of them are starting to walk back as you guys are surveying and casting your spells and. Yeah.
Because if Inara sees that like there's something going on, she wants to center herself as close as she can to try to get as many people, especially Corvus and Eden, within her range of aura.
Yeah, you can move.
I would say, like, at a certain point, once we start moving enough, like, it would become a very brisk walk. Just back to the group.
Yeah, and Finara's approaching with caution, but at the same time, she's kind of like trying to make sure that like she's kind of looking around and gauging how close she is to everyone, and kind of bracing herself for whatever, because there's a look on faces that she notices, because her perception is pretty high too. So
Yeah,
think,
Eden's skin is staying like stark white, and like not just like, oh, somebody looks flushed white. Like I'm talking stark snowy, stays white skinned, like just stays flashed white with like the black eye thing, and is just like, well, there's definitely something.
You didn't smell the flowers, did you?
Well, you should be really careful about things that grow here. Even in our little pocket, when there was stuff, it was usually not great.
Aaron
Yes,
just adjusts the flower crown.
Eden just kind of
we
smirks.
we've observed this, but no, I just wonder because you seem to be a different shade than usual.
Yeah, are you all right?
No, I just saw 3 werewolves in the woods.
Werewolf?
There, a wolf.
I don't see a wolf.
Well, they're werewolves, so actually, now they're their wolves.
I see.
Did you see something too?
Whenever I was very young, Bella would chase me with those.
That's awful.
So I don't like them very much. Was not a fun game.
Do you think she sent them? You don't think she knows we're here, do you?
Was that what I don't know. At first it looked like a blob, and then it turned into... That doesn't look like anything Bella's done before.
And I haven't heard something like this out of character, right?
Make a history or nature check.
Wait, is that the tickle thistle?
I actually just had a thought as well.
That's a 6.
No.
The dice do not want Orchid to know shit about where we are.
Apparently
today.
not. I mean, she lived a very sheltered life in the nursery, really, so.
I am curious if this description reminisces of something that we have dealt with in the past. We were just described a blob that changed shape into something.
Oh yeah. Oh. I mean, it's definitely reminiscent of Aura in a way. Yeah. I'd say you'd be able to recall that Aura had the ability to change into humanoid creatures.
Was it reminiscent of when we were dealing with Aura? You mentioned a blob that changed shape.
Or shrugs.
It just had it was kind of weird and dark, and then it had an eyeball and a weird mouth with teeth. Then it was
yes,
a wolf.
I believe that Aura had an eyeball and teeth too.
But she didn't bring it here, right? None of them came this way.
Not that we saw. Do we have the
All right.
caravan people yet, or whatever we're waiting on?
Yeah, I turn to Orchid. You see something up there?
Well, there's a cottage that way, and there was something moving down south. Um, Honestly, gosh, I mean, all when I grew up here, my advice was never leave the safety of the nursery. So, being told to just wander around is kind of contrary to everything that I ever grew up learning. But I mean, I was only 12 when I left, so we could definitely take care of ourselves more than little kids. At the same time, my inclination is just to dig in here and not move until we have a trusted uh well, I don't want to say trusted adult, but I kind of do,
We are all
somebody
adults
who
here.
knows where they're going.
I
I
can find a way. Just not over there, apparently.
just,
Why
I
did you wander that way, anyways?
And so, whenever I was talking to Dolus, I explained a lot of my situation, which he actually has a bit of knowledge, because apparently he has a friend who had their heart stolen by some winter frosty princess lady. And so, um, he was telling me that frankly, I'm in kind of a weird position as being kind of in the spring and kind of a fall and all this weird stuff, and that one of the safer places for me to travel may be in the gray area because it's not really either like court's property and you can, because one side may not. Anyway, he just said that it's nobody's like jurisdiction, jur, and then in Sylvan says jurisdiction. So I figured I would take a look at it and see if it's going to be viable. And there's blobby wolves. So I don't know.
Blobby their wolves.
Blobby there wolves.
that makes the most sense. Listen, I don't want to sit still. Not exciting for me. I would really like look at this place. I know that for like the two of you who've been here and lived here, etc., etc. I was just coming back to the place that you've been. Never been here. Lots of color. Crazy that the things like this exist. It's real pretty. I'd like to see some more, and I don't want to sit on my hands.
But you're not. We're standing up.
I mean, but you might also consider that the two people have been here before aren't saying like, oh, it's because we've seen it all. I've never seen this place either. It's just that I know that this place is like crazy dangerous.
Mine did not look this way.
I mean, you said that there's a cottage that could be safe,
Yeah,
right?
it could be, or the person
Hemlock lives in
would
the
want to
cottage.
eat us. I don't know.
I would advise no more smelling of flowers.
You really should not be putting your face in any plants here. Some of them do not appreciate that.
Well, to be fair, if you all stay somewhat close to me, with the Vondra's blessing, she'll
We're
watch
doing
over
that.
us.
We're
Yes,
definitely doing
yes.
that. You can put water or whatever on me, but I'm not going over there by myself again.
Good plan.
Oh,
Let's
of
definitely
course,
stick
sir.
together. Nobody go out of eye shot of anybody.
Looks
We
like
de-
people better hold hands so we don't get lost. As Eden will then like look over at Perrin and be like, and we'll put Finn and Orchid's hands together, and
Okay,
then
now you guys are taking it a little far, but I will.
well, but then we'll look over, we'll look up at Finn and make another smirk, and then we'll go to reach for Corvus's hand.
Corvus will not let this hand be touched.
And eventually, then Eden is like, at that point, Eden is like pulling the arm that's just not moving.
To be fair, the people who would feel that additional kind of like nice spring glow would definitely be Orchid, her brother, and Eden in this situation. So the bond is not on herself, but on the other three.
In which case, by the way, Eden will druid craft a little rosy vine, and then we'll connect it to Finn's hand, and then we'll just kind of step back and admire their work.
Oh, this is really pretty.
Don't want
When did
anyone
you
to get
make
lost.
this one? Oh,
Just now.
I can't stand the Feywild.
Did you?
Eden gets so happy when you say this. Like some of the color actually starts to return.
Did you say that the flowers would be safe while we're inside this manifestation?
well,
Don't do it.
certain effects, like you say that my brother was acting all loopy and things. Let's just say there's different things. If you know, maybe you're under the influence of anything, you at least feel like you can fight it off. Perhaps it helps tremendously,
Trust
especially if you're
nothing.
poisoned.
I see. Art looks down at the nowhere near as prettily crafted flower crown that he holds in his hand and has a little bit of a sad look on his face.
Eden will touch it and fix it, like just touches it and it like grows another vine through there. Everyone can have one.
Oh,
I've got
Wait.
one naturally, it doesn't go away. So.
Well, Corvus, hopefully we can finish up things quickly, but please don't stray off.
I do not plan to unless I have to.
I don't mind it here necessarily, apart from the impending danger.
It is pretty. You're not wrong about that, Perrin.
Apart from almost, probably being eaten by the werewolves, I actually feel really great for the first time in a while stepping foot here.
That doesn't
good.
inspire confidence.
Corvus, what's your deal with the Feywild? Why is it like
They
such
took his boots.
Allergies.
Well,
It's more than the boots. It's the Feywild is designed on a basis of loopholes and hidden conversation, subtext in every statement. Every conversation is a pending dread and doom for
That is not true.
entertainment.
We can make a deal.
Oh, no,
Corvus just closes his lips, doesn't even respond, just
don't know if you should poke the bear, as they say.
For some reason I feel this renewed energy to do so.
just really in your mischief element, huh?
Maybe it's this environment that's kind of bringing that out of you.
Corvus
I
just
like it.
sits down immediately and just starts to meditate, keeping only my ears focused, keeping my eyes closed. I'm listening, but I'm not looking at anything around.
Okay.
Flowers in a circle around. Like, we'll just be like making them low around Corvus at this point.
Are you making it rain flower petals on Corvus?
Yeah, just and in this moment as Eden kind of gets in this weird space of just chaos. Like her antenna look a little bit longer here. The flowers on her crown look a little bit fuller. And like the color kind of fully returns like to normal. And we just continue to drop flowers all over Corvus. It's just like they're starting to pile up at a point. So that's where we're at with that. That's how I'm spending my downtime. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I'll say with that before we make any formal decision on where we're gonna move to, is where we'll take our break for right now. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Go do your things. We'll go do ours, and we'll be back in a bit.
Flowers.
Welcome back, folks. All right, where we're picking back up. Eden dancing in a field of flowers while throwing flower petals upon Corvus, who's sitting and meditating, listening to the world around him. The rest of you watching this, Corvus, actually, go ahead and give me a perception check while you're sitting there listening.
28.
20. Jesus.
Why do we bother?
How did you roll? Okay, I don't even want to know. As you are sitting in this space, the flowers coming down around you, you can hear behind you, coming from like so slightly behind you, but also from the direction of the forest. This slow shifting. It's almost like the steady like of the shifting of grass, as if several things. No, not that Eden. As if several things are moving through the grass and through the flowers toward you.
Oh,
Gonna
who
keep
goes there?
listening.
Oh, only Corvus hears this.
Do I have a distance specifically, or
I mean,
approximately?
this is just with hearing. It's hard to gauge distance with hearing, especially with the wind kind of blowing from your back. Maybe at the most, like 50, 60 feet out.
Okay, because I more so just want to get a gauge on range. And if I hear that, and I get a relative direction.
Yeah, it's more of like south and westward toward the direction of that gray wood.
Within 50, 60, I am going to shift my position towards that way
Okay.
and try to get I'm gonna open my eyes and then try to see what I can determine is from that position, just to get a idea on what my next move will be.
I'd say as you shift and turn and look out in that direction, you can very visibly see the pattern in the between the grass and the flowers kind of shifting and opening up as these whatever is moving through it is moving through it.
Who is perceptive? And I know that the most perceptive people is Finara and I believe Eden. But Finara tends to speak too loudly, and Eden is childish. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm gonna observe, and make note of. I have ranged stuff. I do. I have darts. I'm gonna throw a dart directly like 5 feet in front of where this thing is moving to basically point out the position it's headed towards and tracking what it does.
I would say at this point you see that there are about 5 of them and they're spread out not in like a full arc but in like this kind of semi arc as they're making their way in toward you guys. At this point when you're getting ready to throw, and you can go ahead and make me an attack roll with your dart if you wish, they're going to be just shy of 30 feet away from you. Like they'll have been closing the distance while you were turning and watching.
You said they stop and turn?
No, I'm saying like as you stopped and like as you opened up your eyes and turned, they continued to close the gap. So what would have been 60 feet is a little bit shy of 30.
Okay. With the bonus, that's an 11.
An 11 to hit. Well, you're just trying to hit the space in front. So as you throw in front,
roughly in front,
you hear this.
Our passive perceptions. Do we hear that?
You all hear that.
What? What the?
and it was like a like
It was more like a
Corvus?
is that an annoyed sound? A I'm caught sound?
Insight.
Goes there.
The 24.
It's a combination of like shock and annoyance. It's like that like you did that. Why did you do that? You know what I mean? Like
So immediately, Corvus will manifest the astral arms.
Mm-hmm.
Not the butt wings. It's a different thing. While doing so, like kind of trying to clock the immediate members of the party who are with next to me to be like, I'm going astral, which usually would mean be ready. Trying to do it as nonverbal as possible.
Eden will just pause and look in the direction that Corvus is clearly focusing, in which point Eden's eyes will kind of do the black thing, and we're
going to
ready.
definitely
Fanara pulls
definitely
out
roll
her
initiative
crossbow.
here. What I will say is that as of this moment, you've all heard where these things are. Corvus is the only one who's been able to identify where these things are.
Mm-hmm.
And we will go to initiative.
Ooh.
So hang on, let me roll for these guys.
Those in the bond, remember the bond.
Oh, is that what this
What's
is?
the
too?
bond? What's the
Or-
bond do
Not-
again?
It's an ability check.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. D4.
And it's a D4. Okay. And who is it on? It's on.
Me, Eden, and Organ.
Yeah, only because they put our hands together, so it was just like automatically gonna get zapped. I'm sorry.
It's cool. The dice were nice to me this time. Not like my HP.
All right.
Stares at you in 48.
There's my pen.
You are barely squishier than me.
25 to 20.
I got a 23.
23.
As a natural 20.
Jesus, Corvus. Perfect.
Oh,
Anybody between 20 and 25 other than Corvus? 15 and 20.
17.
19.
18.
19
Oh,
for 19 for Perrin.
18 for Orchid, and then I'm 17.
Orchid. And Fenora. All right, 10 to or 15 to 10. No? Oh shit. Okay. Uh 10 to 5.
Oh,
Oh my god. Which one of you wants to go first?
Both
Or
of
you
us
guys-
get 5. That's great.
Yeah, you guys can determine who goes first and second.
Doesn't matter. Is
Matter,
your deck?
yeah.
What is your dex higher? I think your dex is
my
higher.
dex is a 14.
You with the same freaking dex.
Just roll another d20.
Okay.
rollies.
Roll these.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, okay. 14 that time.
19.
All right, we'll go Eden.
There
and
we
then
go.
Art.
All right.
I rolled good. I'm glad I used that 19 to see who's going first.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Corvus, you're up. You can see the patterns in the flowers in the field where these creatures are standing. I've already been able to identify that. You
Okay.
all 5, because you're a monk. All 5 of them are in striking distance of you. They're in
I
this,
got
like, semi.
a few points of clarity to determine what Corvus is going to do. First off, to my understanding, these things seem to be invisible as opposed to the experience I've had with etherealness. Because I've seen tangible interaction with the world, yes?
Give you a free action for Arcana, real quick.
Oh, damn. All right. That's a solid 10.
10. It's either etherealness or invisibility. You're not quite sure. It's one or the other.
And then also I have just a general question: if you're invisible, do you still cast a shadow?
You would if it wasn't noon.
Perfect. So all I'm
Uh-huh.
hearing is I've already got my astral form. I gonna double check. If I know that invisibility casts a shadow, I have to double check what this officially does. I do create a 10-foot radius of light.
Ooh.
It is.
I'm activating my no, because I take an action. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Why not? I'm gonna do Celestial Revelation,
Okay.
which allows me to create a bright light within 10 feet and dim light for an additional 10 feet beyond that. So 20 feet of light.
Okay.
Also, I get celestial light draconic wings because I use the flying one
They come out of your butt.
Yeah.
out of my shoulder blades. My butt wings are for later.
Your hands come out of your butt. No, I'm kidding. No, but you pop out your additional arms. Your wings pop out. You still have your bonus action because I allowed you got your wings last turn or like as pre-combat.
Yeah, so I did astral form last as a bonus action. Bonus action to go radiant for this one.
Mhm.
So I still have my action.
And your movement, yeah.
And I am going to just go up to the one I can, the center of these individuals. I'm going to go for that one.
Okay.
My idea
Yeah,
is
and
the
that's
center is typically a charge.
perfect. So there's and that way everything's radiating out too as well.
Exactly.
Perfect. I get that. So you charge in, and the semicircle isn't much more than maybe like a 20-foot semicircle widthwise, maybe 30. They're not very far spaced out. They've kind of clumped together. They're moving in, and they were getting ready to strike. You charge into where you would think the center one is. Go ahead, and I will say, because you know where they are, where the center one is specifically, and you're using your light, your attacks against these creatures. Your first one will be at disadvantage, but if you hit, then the rest will be straight.
Okay. We'll go ahead with this disadvantage. I don't want to boost it. That is going to be, we'll boost by 13.
A 13 to hit?
Yep.
A 13 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. So damage for that first one to hit. Low damage. That is going to be 6 force plus 3 radiant.
9 points of damage total. Perfect. You punch into this thing, and you watch as this like ripple of radiant energy washes over the invisibility that it is under. Actually, I would need to. Cool, it succeeds there. It's still invisible in front of you, but you have a better sense of where it is. It's directly in front of you. It's almost, and at this point, it almost looks as if you punched a small, like something the size of art.
I'm punching it again then for my second attack.
Go for it.
On that note,
Unrelated to the art,
on
but
that
possibly
note, I
also.
punch again. Yeah.
And it's a straight roll now since
oh god.
it's a natural 20 to hit for 28.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That's going to be 14 points of force damage.
14 points of force damage. Holy smokes. All right, let's see. As you punch it, you watch as the radiant energy washes over it again. You hear this, and as you pull your hand back, there's just this this like solid like yellow eye with black pupil staring right back where your fist was. These like gnarled and jagged and like crooked teeth, wide and like menacing, looking up at you. It's shifting and changing in size and demeanor. Not quite fully formed yet, but what it looks like it's taking on or starting to take on is this kind of scaled vision, at least while it's in front of you, Corvus.
Okay. And I'll use my movement to take. I want to just get myself 5 feet away, so I'm not within immediate 5 feet of that thing. Presuming that I'm like not within 5 feet of a different one. I believe this is the only one within 5 feet of
This
me.
one would be the only one within 5 feet. You will take an attack of opportunity unless you
I
have
will not.
something for it.
I'm very mobile.
Gotcha. I see what you did there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it for me.
With that, then we will move to Parent.
I would like to use a free action to just be like, check shadows, using my other spare hands to point at the shadows on the ground to try to point it out to my companions.
That are totally listening to you.
So when he made impact and hit the thing, did it become visible, or did he kill it? Did he kill that thing?
He didn't kill it, but it's visible and in front of him.
Perfect.
Well, there's 5 feet of space between the two of them, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to make an interesting choice because I like doing that. So because I can see the thing, I'm going to set it on like the farthest corner of a 20-foot cube. And Parrot is going to just kind of whistle and like wave his hands around, and he's going to close his eyes, and I need them to. Oh wait, it all depends on what I roll here. He closes his eyes and he goes, God, I miss my mother. And he lets go, and in that 20-foot cube is the smell of apple pie. And each creature in the cube needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, it's a 20-foot cube. You are centering it on, so you probably hit about Are you trying to hit 3 or as many as you can?
As many as I can.
Okay, so I'd say you
but I
could
can only
shift
see
it.
the one, so
Yeah, if you're centering it on the one, I'd say you'd be able to hit 3 of them.
Okay.
Because then it could pop out to either side.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's a 2, that's another 2, and that's a third 2.
Gotta love it.
Wow. Okay, so all of them fail to save from Nether's mischief. And so
Oh
on
shit!
this
Hang
turn,
on. Never mind. They have advantage on these.
It's magic. So
It's magic. Yep. That's an 8.
Okay.
8's or and 10's the first one. I got a dirty 20, and then I got a 15.
Okay, so only one of them fails. And that specific one becomes charmed until the start of my next turn.
All right.
And that's my action. Bonus action, I will look at my sister, and I'll just kind of say, could you like figure something out about these? And he's just like waving his hands.
I'll try. I don't know why you mentioned Mama though.
Just do the thing.
All right.
With that, we'll move to Orchid.
All right. How many of them are within 30 feet of me?
Within 30 feet of, go ahead and give me a perception check. I'll say perception check with advantage.
All right. That is seriously, an 8.
An 8?
Wait, did you add the 4? Well, I mean, not that it's gonna.
Oh, the D4. It's a 12.
12. You can see the one that's 5 feet away from Corvus, and then you can also see the where kind of kitty corner from Corvus to the right and left. There are 2 additional ones. You don't see them per se, but you can see the shadow that they're giving off.
Okay, and all of those are within 30 feet of me?
Correct.
Okay. If there are any others within 30 feet of me, they will also be affected, probably. But Orchid utters
If you
some words that sound like an ancient dialect of Sylvan, and any fae or fiend, sorry, Eden, that can hear me within 30 feet of me must make a wisdom saving throw. As I use Turn the Faithless.
Does that include me?
no,
Okay.
you ain't that kind of goblin.
What's the DC?
13.
Okay. I don't have a strong enough Fey bloodline for that. Good.
Oh, I have that fucking the thing.
I have wisdom saving throw.
The dice counts for that, right?
My highest one is an 18, and then after that there's a 12, and then the other ones are less than that.
So the 18 saves, everybody else hears it.
Quick question, Finn. Does this technically count for your thing? The dice.
For attack or ability check?
I have to make a
Saving
save.
throw.
Oh, saving, yeah.
Perfect. That's all I needed. That's a 14.
Perfect. You save. Good.
Because
All
otherwise
right.
that was a 12 and I was about to fail. So.
Oh, yeah, no, you're
On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. A turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from me as it can and can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape. If the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shapeshifting, or other effect, the form is revealed while it is turned.
Alright, you watch as 3 of the remaining 4 are revealed. You see very similarly these like shifting and moving black masses with the singular yellow eye in the center, and these gnarled and bucked teeth. They're all kind of just like mashing and hissing and moving and shifting while staring at you all.
Okay, those don't look like aura.
Hang on.
It
Now
doesn't say whether or not I know if who has succeeded or failed. Can I tell?
by the fact that the ones that were in an illusion popped out of the illusion, yes.
That's true. Then afterwards, I'll add the ones that you can see are going to run. I'll say that for the party, and then I end my turn. Feels good.
Where's that under so that way I can just pull it up for my own stuff? Your Return the Faithless? Was that a... That's not a spell.
Yeah, it's
that's
a class feature. One of my channel divinities.
Got it. Cool. Cool. Got it. After Orchid, that was your action. Anything for your bonus action or movement wise?
I don't think so. No, we'll call that good.
All right, Fanara.
Okay, after hearing all that and obviously understanding that everyone's trying to make sure that these creatures are visible, she's still like mumbling, like, I still don't understand why you're calling Mama out during all the. All right, and then she's going to like reach out her hands and unleash her guiding bolt that has that wave effect to it, and with the blue bright light. To try to hit one of the, like, whatever creature her brother basically kind of targeted. And she's going to do that at 2nd level.
Okay.
And that is... that is a 22 to hit.
Okay, so there's one in the center, there's 2 off on either side, and then all the way to your guys' left, you can see a 3rd. If you want to hit the center one, you could definitely hit the center one. But
I'll hit the center.
That's one that Corvus initially popped
Yes,
out.
I'll hit that one. Because I forgot, it wasn't really like a attack. It was more like a charmed situation, which I wouldn't have known. So yeah, I'll target the one that Corvus hit. And then that is, give me 1 second because that's 5d6.
Yeah, 20 something definitely hits. 5d6. Ew.
That is 20 points of damage, and it is now in that light, so we can see the sneaky snake if it tries to sneak away.
What would that light look like if it were to consume something made of darkness?
So think of a large rolling ocean wave that just crashes down and just basically consumes this this creature.
And you watch as your spell connects, that this wave almost tumbles and roils with this creature for a moment back toward the gray woods where it came from before it ultimately dissipates and dies.
Oh, I did it!
See, when you
And she's
listen
gonna
to
point.
me, it works.
Ow! Oh my gosh.
That's one down.
That is it.
Anything for your bonus action or movement wise?
Movement, she's just going to position herself again as close as she can to the center of everyone in the group.
Cool.
To make sure that everyone's still within that aura that's still up. But she is not going to, she doesn't want to lose concentration, so she's not going to cast a bonus spell for this.
Awesome. You move a little bit farther up just to get in the middle of everybody. Sorry, I'm marking down which ones were turned. But not fully. You watch as you're doing that as one of the masses shifts and moves. As it does, it begins to transform. Trying to pick. Let's go with Perrin.
Yo,
What are you most afraid of right now?
what I'm most afraid of. What I'm most afraid of right now is ironically it's myself. Because I'm opening up and I'm worried that I'm gonna consume my friends with my emotions.
You watch as this roiling black mass shifts and changes until a little plume of red hair, pale skin, linen shirt, trousers, strides up to Corvus. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Yeah.
With advantage.
With advantage. Because this is a fright effect, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
And you still get a plus D4.
Oh, and you're a halfling. And you're a halfling. Shit.
So I have I have everything.
You have all the things. Fuck.
And
Pick
you
the
get a
wrong
plus
person.
2 bonus if you're within.
Yep.
God. What you are. Shit.
You are protected.
So-
Let's
I
go.
picked the wrong fucking people
Let's
for this.
go.
Fuck.
So with that, that's 2 plus 4. That's 6 plus 12, which is 18, plus my wisdom is 20 total.
Damn. When you started with the 2 plus 4 and got 6, I was like, cool, I stand a chance. And then you bumped up to 18. I was like, well, that fucking went somewhere. You look into the eyes of this creature and you feel this sense of fear, but then you feel the warmth of your friends around you and you immediately overcome this feeling.
That's the power of friendship, baby.
The power of friendship. It will walk up to you, Corvus, and it's going to... Oh, shit. I can't do that. I'm going to do that. It's going to go to shake your hand. And does a 17 hit you?
It does not.
Fuck. Cool. All right. Well, you watch as, like, in where its palm was, it has like this little like almost like buzzer like contraption, and as you go to shake its hand, it like grasps your hand and like your forearm, and nothing happens. And it looks back at its hand and like pushes the button. Nothing happens. And you watch as like the little button in its hand just manifests and dissolves back into the body.
Ethan will
what it
snicker from
gets.
behind.
All of the other ones, or well, actually 2 of the remaining ones, are going to use their actions to dash 60 feet back toward the gray woods because they're turned by Orchid and charmed by parents, so they can't do shit. So they walk back. You see 2 of them. One of them's just like literally like maybe a set of teeth and an eyeball and some black goop. 2 of them just immediately start bolting it, and it's really not like bolting. It's like oh god, now I have the scene of the one guy from the new Ant-Man movie running. If you haven't seen the new Ant-Man, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do, he's just like it half ooze-like flailing as they're running, just running the fuck away from Orchid because they're so terrified of the presence that she has emanated.
I
That
said
will
some really mean stuff in Ancient Sylvan.
that will
Very
bring us to Eden.
How far away is the nearest one from me?
Just shy of 30 feet.
Just shy of 30 feet?
You can get there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action rage. So Eden will just like calmly eyes ink over red irises, the skin washes back white, the hair washes white, antenna wash white. The only thing that stay colorful are the flowers. And as she like progresses forward, like her fingers kind of elongate until there are like claws at the end. And then she just like dashes forward to the nearest one and just like lets out Banshee shriek and just like claws out at him. So here we go. That first one is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 12 points of owie on that one. That second one is only a 17 to hit.
+4.
Oh,
Yeah, that still hits.
now I just want to see it. That 18 to hit.
Mhm.
And that is another 12 points of owie. Yeah. And then Eden will just be glaring at this thing, realizing that that was the thing that made the spooky vision, and just under her breath will whisper in like the almost like the sound of creaking trees in autumn. The creature will just hear in Sylvan essentially something along the lines of, "And who do you think you are?" As Eden now just stands over it with like this very cold aura emanating around her. And that is my turn.
All right.
Going spoopy.
Art.
I've been watching a lot of horror right now, guys.
So what do I see at this point? Because it seems like, if I understand correctly, we have 2 that have run really far away, and then 1 that Eden is scaring the crap out of.
2 so there's one that just completely got overcome by Fanara's magic. You see another 2 that are running off into the distance back toward the wood. There's one that is next to Corvus that looks like Perrin. And there's another one off to the side that looks like it might get ready to run, but you're not quite sure. That one's a little bit closer. That one's about 30 feet away.
You said it looks like it's getting ready to run?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, it's also hard to tell. There's only one eye, so like you can't tell if like it's showing fear or showing anger or what. But
How far is this one from any of the others?
that one was one of the ones on the farther outskirts. So from the one in the middle, only about maybe about 15 feet. From the one that are like way, way, way off, about like about 60-ish, 70-ish.
Okay, so they're all pretty far then.
Yeah.
Cool. So then the closest one would be the one that's engaged with Corvus, or the one that's engaged with Eden.
Corvus and Eden are both in. Or no, wait, no. The one that in front of Corvus is dead, so that would be the other one. You're right. I mixed
Wait,
them up.
did I just walk up and attack Pseudo Perrin?
Yes.
Dang it! I wish I could have changed what I whispered then.
There's one. Eden and Corvus are both on the same one, and then there's one off on its own.
It was just
Okay.
going to be a salty reference, by the way. It was just going to be Eden just like anger releasing from the whole Dolus situation. I'm just going to be honest. It was going to be catty and stupid.
Art's gonna look from one to the other, from one to the other. You know what? And I'm gonna send one of my duck bombs flying over at the far one.
All right. Is that dexterity saving throw for me?
No, it's just an attack roll,
Go for it.
which is gonna be a 14.
14. That will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Excellent. As soon as I can figure out where my damage die are. There we go. And Art's filled with a little bit of enthusiasm. Actually, never mind. That doesn't work. Yeah, so that's just going to be 4 points of boom damage.
Oh, are you gonna use your fury as small on it? Oh yeah, it's not.
I was going. It's not bigger than me.
No,
I'm assuming.
It's. I mean, Perrin's only slightly taller than you, but not tall enough to make fury of the small possible. No.
Yes,
4 points, you said?
we made a reference. We're about the same height. I just hunch, so you know.
Yeah.
It's all about posture. You throw your little duck bomb, quack, quack, quack. It explodes. You watch as little bits like embed itself into the creature, and the creature just immediately goes and turns and bolts toward the trees.
Well, my calculations were a little off, but that got the job done.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. We were like a couple 100 feet away from the trees.
Yes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And
But they're
guess-
dashing, so they got a whole 60 feet on y'all.
I'm gonna get myself closer to Eden and Corvus then.
Cool. Use the rest of your
And that-
movement to get there.
Mhm.
Perfect. We go back to the top of the round. Corvus, you have 3 of these creatures that are running away. You have one that's right in front of you and Eden, who has turned into this creature of destruction, for lack of better words. What would you like to do?
How far are the 3 that are running away? You said there were 3 of them that were
The
running away.
3 that
right?
are running away are about 60 feet away from you.
By about 60 feet. Do you mean like 55-ish?
No, like they used their full movement, which was 60 feet because they had to dash. So they're 60 feet away.
Perfect. You know what? That's still fine then, if they're 60 feet away. Yeah, Horus is going to run forward and kind of jump to hover off the ground and fly towards at least whichever one can get to first. We're gonna force punch it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack. You just run up to one and you just charge up to one of them as they're running away. They're not even looking at you. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Since they're not looking at me and they're not expecting it, is that an advantage perchance?
They're not expecting and not looking at you are 2 different things.
That's fair. All right, so With the range of 10 feet, that is a 17 on the first attack.
Mm-hmm. You can.
For 9 points of damage. Force.
Yuck. All right.
I'm gonna do the second. That's a dirty 20 to hit. For 7 points of force.
For 7 points of force. Awesome.
And we're gonna do that bonus action attack. 26 to hit. Or
26 to hit.
10 points of force. We'll make it 13 because I'll add the extra 3 radiant.
All right. This one's starting to look kind of rough, but you notice, and this is something that I went back and I just read, so I'm not going to take it back on the other one, but you notice that as you punch it, the eye immediately like comes out the back end after you've punched it with a series of your arcane or your draconic hands. The eye pushes through the back and stares at you, and the teeth slowly come out. And it starts to shift and move and alter its form.
Good to know. Good to know. That's it for me.
Cool. Perrin.
Is this thing, could I like my I can move my cube 10 feet on my turn.
Mm-hmm. You want to get both the ones that are still in immediate proximity of you?
Is it possible?
Yeah, you can do that for
Cool.
sure.
I'm going to shift my cube. It doesn't take an action to do this, or it doesn't take any action economy to do this, apparently, which I'm very happy about. And I get to re-roll what happened.
Really? That's interesting. You can move it at will.
Yeah, roll on the mischievous surge table to determine the magical effect produced, and roll again on the start of your turns until the spell ends. You can move the cube up to 10 feet before you roll.
Damn. Well, fuck. All right, cool. That's cool.
So I'm going to shift it. Hold on. I haven't told you what you need yet.
Sorry.
Because Perrin's moving it, and then...
I got excited. I get to roll dice.
As he's moving the cube, he's looking at these two things, and he goes, my wife came home the other day, and she said, I'm pregnant. And I said, hi, pregnant, I'm dad. And she goes, no, you're not. And I need them to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's such a layered joke, and I hate it.
That's my favorite one,
That's going to be a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
A 14 and a 13.
The 13 fails. It is incapacitated and uses all its movement to move in a random direction on its turn. One of these things looks like me and is engaged with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So as a bonus action, Perrin will pull out the short sword and just whisper just whisper House of Warmaven. And the blade ignites with purpley silver flame. And as he kind of like turns, reverse grips the short sword, he will like little leg jog like back and forth and like zigzag until he's like catty corner with the ooze that looks like him that Eden is fighting. And he just kind of like brings it up as the thing isn't looking at him, and it just like hits the thing with the short sword. So I'm gonna roll my attack.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
As a free action, I like to drop my jaw upon seeing this blade.
Your jaw is considered dropped.
14 plus stuff. Like, go away.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. 19 total. Yeah. So, blade is on fire. That's 2d6. Short sword is 1d6. And sneak attack gets me an extra 1d6.
Yuck.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Yuck. I hope you roll all ones.
Kick rocks because I did not. So that's 10, 18,
Holy
20 damage.
Hey, Perrin, how do you kill yourself?
He comes up behind him and just kind of looks up at Eden as she's like gone feral, and he goes, "Don't be bothering with this bloke. He's not as handsome as I am." And he just whoosh, this like cleans the neck off this thing. And it's like you've never seen Perrin be so swift and like gutless with his killing. So it's very interesting to see.
As the blade goes through and it starts to burn and break up bits of this creature, it starts to shift back into its original form before you get to the eye, and then slice the eye in half as the creature just completely just crumples around you.
Gross.
Anything else with your turn?
Nope,
Is that
that's
everything?
me.
Perfect. Orchid.
All right. So one of my guys who was running away got hit with damage, right? So he's sort of coming back.
Yeah, one of them. There's technically two because Art damaged one, and then I said it ran away, and then I double checked, but I'm not gonna retcon that because I don't care. That one's gonna definitely come back. At the end of its turn, you watch as it turns and like is gonna start making its way back. There's one fighting Corvus 60 feet away that also is turned and will engage with Corvus, and then the third one remaining is just still booking. Looks like it's still booking it toward the forest.
Okay. So what's closest right now? Are they both?
Both of the 60 feet ones are the closest ones for you.
Okay. What can I do at that distance? Oh, I could do that. Okay. The one that Art hit, since it has nobody around it, I'm gonna bring down a moonbeam on them.
Ooh, good call. And that's a
That is a con check. Con
Is that-
saving throw.
when it comes down or at the start of their turn.
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or it starts its turn there.
Cool. So when it gets to that creature's turn, then we'll roll the con save and do the damage. But cool. You drop down a moonbeam and you just see what's a moonbeam from you look like? Like how's that? Like I get it, it's a beam of moon, but like
Yeah. I mean, I just imagine like a very pale, shimmery light, just that looks like all silver, sort of twinkly. Like somehow it looks like literally like moonbeam, even though it's, I think, well, we didn't say what time of day it was, but I assume it is daytime.
the sun is at its peak, so you'd assume noon, though in the Feywild
Mhm.
time is a weird soup.
Yeah. I feel like when the thing is in it, it almost looks sort of like it loses color, like you're looking at it through nighttime.
Okay. Yeah, like it's like that off. Like yeah, I get it. Where you like
Yeah.
it almost turns everything to nighttime while you're looking at stuff within it. I dig that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of the twinkle of the stars behind. Perfect. You drop that down. It will activate once we get to that creature's turn. Bonus action. I'm guessing you had to move in order to do that, or were you
No,
good
that has a
casting?
120-foot range.
Oh, dope! Shit, you're
I
just
will-
standing there. You're like, okay, bye guys. Boom.
Oh, you're coming back? No, you're not.
Slaughtered so many vampires with that spell.
Dope. That's awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah. I'll make sure I'm as close to as many people as possible, and then otherwise I end my turn.
Yeah, you just move up to Perrin and like move up a little bit closer to Perrin, Ifnara, and Corvus and Eden and all of them. We'll make sure Art has some room too. Cool. Perfect. All right.
All right. I'm gonna roll my damage now. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. That guy's dead. That guy. Okay, cool. Oh wait, it's Fanara's turn. Fanara, shit, I'm like trying to look and see which guys of mine are ready to go. Fanara, Moonbeam, dropped. Not Perrin, dead. What would you like to do?
So she's processing everything, so she's still laughing. Because that's one of her favorite jokes. She's heard parents say that one before, and she likes that it's like slightly like raunchy. But then all of a sudden she sees that he's like with this blade. That's new. And so is that. And looking at the moonbeam that comes down, because she had no idea that Orchid had that up her sleeve. So
Secret.
after seeing all that, she's like, well, time to get to work. And then she's gonna like point in the direction where there's the creature that's bothering Corvus. And she's basically essentially doing guiding bolt again, but this one is at first level. But this effect for the light is different because it's basically if you imagine, like, it's almost like a whirlpool effect. So
Ooh, I like that.
as it goes in that direction, it's like basically gonna try to suck this thing into the center of its, whirliness.
I dig that.
Yeah. And okay, that is, oh yay, 18 plus 7. I hope that hits. I'm pretty sure it does.
100% hits.
Fantastic. All right, let me go ahead and roll this. Beautiful bean footage. No, just kidding. Okay. Boo-boo-boo. Okay. And that is going to be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. You watch as the tidal pool sucks this creature into the center of it, moves around it, and like spins it for a second, almost like corkscrews it, and then spits it back out as it like continues on a little bit before dissipating. This creature has this like light teal-y blue coloration, right? Your aqua colors, as it's standing like almost dazed in front of Corvus. Anything else for your turn?
Is my aura still up? Just barely?
Your aura is, yeah, you got plenty of time still. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she's going to just make sure that if people have moved and adjusted, she's doing her little like lifting up her skirt and kind of like moseying on over to be in the center.
Perfect. Cool.
Oh, and then she's going to turn to her brother after doing that. She's going to be like, well, you know what they say? Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Let's see. Corvus. The one that's in front of you. You watch as its eye stares, like, penetrates into your skull, into your very mind. And you watch as the body ripples and changes. It drops down to 4 legs. You see it almost becomes quadrupedal, and then you watch as the body shifts, starting to sprout scales. Where the eye is, it splinters off into 5 different segments. And you watch as it begins to grow 5 different draconic heads. A set of wings come from the back of it. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
That is a 15.
A 15. 15 saves, so you are not frightened. However, as you say this, you hear inside your head, she will consume all of your world. And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw for me.
And you're remembering all your bonuses, right?
He is 60 feet away, so he's not near anyone.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's a 6.
A 6. Cool. So you're gonna take. Let me double check.
Wait, Corvus is 60 feet away from everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because he ran after the 2 that are. He ran after the one that was, yeah. Well, maybe a little bit less from some of you. About 50 feet away from some of you guys.
Okay. So he's not within 30 feet of, say, me, for example.
No. All right. You're gonna take.
Hold on. Pause.
Oh.
You just got luck, sir, so you can re-roll.
Oh, did you just give him a luck? Shame
I
on you.
didn't. Somebody from chat did, though.
Thank
Who
you.
did?
I'ma use it.
Thanks,
Oh,
Steph.
okay. Steph, I see you. Thank you, Steph.
I needed that because that's a 22.
A 22 saves. So the good news is you only take half this damage, which really isn't that much damage, but it's going to be 10 points of psychic damage halved to 5. And then you won't have to do any of the other weird stuff that it makes you do. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Cast Dissonant Whispers on you.
That makes sense.
It's then gonna try to fucking book it because it doesn't have anything else to do.
I'm punching it.
Go ahead and punch it.
It's a 19 to hit.
Yes.
That's 6 force, and I think can I still add my radiant as a once per turn?
If it's once per turn, then yes.
Yes. Oh no, once on each of my turns.
Each of your I mean, reaction is technically a new turn, so you can. No.
It's
But
one
it's
on
not-
each of
it's
my
not
turns.
his
Oh,
turn.
his turn. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
They nerfed it
Okay.
too much. Yeah. So then, yeah, just the 6 force.
Cool. 6 force. How do you defeat Bahamut's sworn enemy?
Oh, it chose to do the dumb thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab each one of the 4 heads that I can on each side, and I'm going to literally pull it in 4 different directions to turn it into shredded chicken.
Great. And as you rip and pull it apart, it just turns into this black goo inside in your hand. It's not even like it's not gelatinous. It's just this kind of like it's hard to explain. It's like sludge almost as you rip it apart and it dies in your hands.
I look at the other one and I'm like, "You're next."
That one runs 60 more feet away from you.
We never resolved the moonbeam on their turn, did we?
Oh wait, no, that's not on that one.
Okay. Have they
Am I
had their
missing-
turn?
Am I missing
We
how
missed
much?
it.
No, you guys are. No, we have Eden and Art still. That one's all the way at the end. The one
Okay.
that Art fought. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's the one that didn't run, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that didn't run. They could fought. They ran. Dead. Yeah. One is still running, and it's going to go another 60 feet away. It was on par with you, Corvus, but it's going to keep going. And then we get to Eden and Art. So Eden's up next, and then Art. You have the one that's currently from you Eden, about 60 feet away, with a moonbeam on it. And then there's another one way, way, way off in the distance, about 120 feet away.
The moonbeam has a 5-foot radius, by the way, so.
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Stab it in the face.
It's way too far away from me.
Not if you throw something.
Throw your stabs.
Oh yeah.
Do like me, throw hands.
Can't do that. They're too far away. I will bonus action end my rage. As that's useless. I cannot catch up. And I will move my full 30 feet forward after the thing. So like as Eden's running, like the color just kind of soaks back in. And how far away if I move 30 feet forward?
It'd be 30 feet away from you.
Perfect. We are going to like reach forward and like throws her hand up in the air, and as like they do this, some of the petals from the flowers below kind of fall from the flowers themselves. They just start to kind of fall off, and then they rise back up into a swarm of moths that will catch towards, like, basically at the start of where the thing is, towards the forest. That is a 10-foot radius. It will heavily obscure the area and bite any hostile creatures in the area, specifically hostile, by the way. And at the start of their turn, they will need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Perfect. So Moonbeam and Moth Swarm. This thing's love and life.
Yeah, these moths just kind of like, the flower petals just turn into moths and just start swarming it. So there's just this weird cloud of brown in a very colorful field.
Art. How do you want to add to that?
So we have one swarmed with moths. We have one in a glimmery beam of moonlight.
No, they're both in the same. The moonlight and the moths are on the same creature.
Oh,
and
I
would like to point out, though, they're a sphere, right? So the sphere is also slightly wider than the long moonbeam that's extending above the orchid.
Yeah.
How far away from me are they right now?
From you, about 60 feet.
60?
60.
Let me double check something real quick, because I think that works. I'll be damned. Cool. So Art's gonna run forward about 10 feet. As he does so, he's going to reach into one of his pockets and pull out a jar filled with a yellowish-orange foaming viscous liquid. Unpop the cork. Immediately, as soon as it makes contact with air, it starts foaming up and building up like crazy. He's going to hurl it in the direction of said individuals that are caught in this light and swarm of insects. And immediately on the ground around them is going to foam up and grow this 20-foot cube of sticky substance. And I'm going to need them to make dex saves, please.
All right. That's going to be a dexterity, a 19.
A 19, unfortunately, is successful. So
Silvery barbs.
Oh.
Stay where you're at.
Well, that was a 6 for a 9.
not so much then. They are caught in a web of gooey, honey-ish stickiness.
All right. They get trapped in there inside. Oh my god, you're just going to roast and eat this thing alive? That's so cruel. All right. Anything else with your turn there, Art? Uh-oh, you muted yourself.
Art's just going to use free action to go, yes!
All right. On its turn, it will trigger both the moonbeam and the moths. So it will need to make, what is it for moonbeam?
That will be 9 radiant damage.
I think it has to make a save still, though, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yes, you're right.
All right. What's the save?
Constitution.
And then
of DC 13.
Okay.
As a point of interest, does the moonbeam cause flame of any sort?
Not particularly. No, it's more
Okay,
of like
cool.
it's more radiant damage than anything.
I figured. I just had to ask the question. It's important.
Oh shit! Hang on.
More Chernobyl, less Pompeii.
So he will fail that. And it will take
9 radiant damage.
it's in its original form, so that's fine.
Yeah.
but
Cannot
it will
assume
take.
a different form.
It cannot assume a different form. You're right. It just immediately shines down, and it looks up at the light, and like its eye goes wide for a second as it begins to like burn away some of the like the tendrils that are on the ends. For you, dexterity saving throw for Eden. That's going to be a 16.
But you still take half damage.
Wait, wouldn't there be disadvantage because he can't move?
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah.
It is restrained.
You're right.
Yes.
That would be that was a natural one then. So you're right.
That's a 15 total.
15 total. All right. 15 points of damage plus the 9 earlier. That's all right.
Have you ever seen a party more cohesive than this one? I don't think so.
It can't. It also can't do the one thing that it needs to do, which is, well, actually, it was going to turn around and fight, but, it's just restrained. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on. Let me look.
Just restrained? That's quite the comment there, sir.
With this
He
crazy
speaks
crew.
with confidence.
I speak with confidence as I look up the thing that it can do and double check. Damn it! That one's all 3.
As I say, restrained is not a great position to be in.
No, never.
Well,
No, restraint
wouldn't
is
say
not
never.
a great. It's going to. You know what? If it wasn't for you, it would be able to move Art. So it's gonna look directly at you, and you hear in your head, if that was your best invention, then you need a lot more work. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I see? Oh no, never mind.
How far
I'll
is
use
he
my
from
reaction.
me?
From Art's within
forward,
that little.
right?
You guys are all clumped together, which is why I'm sad I can't do the other spell.
Okay, you got advantage.
Like Corvus gets a
You
little
got
far away.
advantage. You got advantage,
Excellent.
buddy.
excellent. All right. Well, I'm gonna need that advantage, so that's good.
Wait, is this dissonant whispers again?
Correct.
Then he doesn't have advantage.
Oh, okay, never mind. My bad.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, then the lower roll comes out to, math is hard, that comes out to a total of 7.
Oof.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold the presses. Stiletto Assassin did give advantage
Oh
to a
yes.
roll.
So you could have had
gonna-
advantage. So what was the higher
What
roll?
was the higher
Well,
roll?
the higher roll would have brought that up to an 11, and I'm going to do one other thing as well. I'm going to use my reaction to think back to the contraption that I made for Corvus during the gathering of everyone, and I'm going to think to myself, what are you talking about? My inventions are perfect.
A flash of genius.
And I'm going to use my Flash of Genius for an additional 4, which should bring me up to 15.
Perfect. You will only take 4 points of psychic damage.
I'll take 4 points of psychic damage and like it.
Perfect. And with that, it will pass its turn. Corvus, you have one that's okay. Now let me ask you a question. For sake of time, are you really going to chase this one down?
No, the last one that ran away, it's going too far into the forest. I don't trust the Feywild.
Okay. As it draws closer to the Feywild, you begin to gain more and more apprehension, and slow your pace. The one that is in the roiling mass of moonlight and Perrin, you want to do Perrin? You want a finger gun? I'll let you finger gun. Go ahead.
It's moths, moonlight.
And moths, moonlight, moths, and finger guns.
Question for ya.
I'm changing the
Are
title.
you
of this
feeling
episode.
lucky? Punk?
As he like turns into a grizzled old man for 2 seconds and just like pow pow, just like
Perrin
fires
changes
off
his
2
form.
shots. Yeah, I would get 2 shots at advantage. Do you even want me to roll? Because I think that
I mean, just for shits and gigs, yeah, why not?
sure, yeah, why not? That's a 25
Mm-hmm.
and 23.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your damage.
7.
For the 2.
Yeah.
All right. As you shoot, what are your Eldritch Blast? Have you shot Eldritch Blast before?
We've shot this before. Effectively,
What are
when
your Eldritch Blast?
how do I shat my Eldritch Blast? No. When I shoot Eldritch Blast, what happens is these if you've seen X-Men First Class, it's effectively what Banshee does with the sound waves, and he just like fires off after he like speaks the words, and it's just like these two bolts of sound that kind of come off and just bash into the creature.
And as you do that, the moths start to dig in. The moonbeam coming down, it just dissipates at this point and becomes nothing. The last one you watch as it's running toward the gray forest before you hear a loud roar coming from a little bit slightly farther to the north. The creature stops, but not before you see this rolling mass of flowers and grass consume it. Take it in almost these beast-like jaws. Lash it about until it dissipates, and then stare at the lot of you. What you see before you is a giant lion, a mane of flowers, and a long flowing coat of grass behind it. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Nope, don't like that. Don't like it.
I'm excited.
Reminiscent of somebody.
It's not.
It does seem vaguely familiar.
It's
not
Aslan.
It's not Aslan. It's not Aslan.
Just in case.
No, I was thinking maybe it
I would-
sort of vaguely reminds me of someone in our party.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I just think it's a dandelion.
Wow.
You wouldn't be far off.
So,
Listen.
this is my letter of resignation on that note.
Listen,
They
just happened to put it in the D&D Beyond around the same time that you guys decided to go to the spring court. So I'm like, sure, dandelion. Yeah.
And I would like to note that I have in my notes that I am still concentrating on Swarm of Moths.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not
Yeah,
done.
Moonbeam is still up.
I would like to say, if we went by my turn and we were like, are you going to chase it? If it was my turn, I would like to bonus action also activate more powers. I've got so many. I'm like Goku. I need episodes after episodes to power up.
Well,
I mean,
we can
I
find
was
out what
thinking
happens
chasing.
on the next
Over
episode
9,000.
of Dragon Ball Z.
Do
Yeah.
the thing.
Anyway,
I was
we're
gonna
gonna
keep
do-
chasing.
I'm
Yeah,
still
you guys
reeling
can
from
definitely keep
Dandelion.
chasing. You guys will we'll put you a little bit closer to the dandelion, but we're gonna close out for tonight. We'll start with you, Taryn, as we always do. Who are you? What do you do? Where can we find you? Blah blah blah.
My name is Taryn, also known as Valrook across the socials. You know, all the stuff, the Eldritch Entity, the Dice Maker. I am working on my own TTRPG at the moment, with some of my favorite people, Logan being one, Ronan aka Hale. My sister Maggie is actually going to help with some art things. I'm hoping to rope in a one person that has a bigger ego than mine if they ever have free time. There are others that do this for a living pretty much that I will also be reaching out to as we continue to build this out. I mean, it's your profession. You may, whatever. I have lots of people I'll be reaching out to, just because I want to include a lot of people when I'm working on this, because it's kind of my passion project. Catch me here on the 27th for Curiosity, the Keegan-themed D&D adventure where I am in the GM seat, and Logan plays a goo cat. And then every Monday on Modifius Twitch, I play a dork named Sport. So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Renee Beauregard. I'm one half of Dragon Rock RPG Designs. You can find us at Dragon Rock RPG on Facebook and Twitter, and at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. We're putting out new things very soon, but that's kind of taken a hiatus. Like we were just stepping back just a little bit so that we can do the Mythical Melee things, which is going to happen on July 29th at 6 p.m. Pacific. 9 p.m. Eastern over on the initiative order. Check that out. It'll be Mythical Melee Literary Legends. We're doing exciting things. It's going to be fun. Hopefully in November we'll have the Champion of Champions round, which Jay will be a part of. Looking forward to that. And then, oh right, if Taryn's talking about her RPG, I get to talk about the one that I'm a part of. I am a co-designer and developer of Sagas, or the system agnostic gaming and or system agnostic gaming and storytelling system. It's a really cool thing we've been working on. It's in beta right now. Go follow okayest DM on Twitter and Instagram if he's there, and Dennis will tell you all about it. You can join the beta test if you like. It's a really cool system. I'm looking forward to introducing people with it and to it. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah.
Oh, is that my turn?
Mm.
Hello, everybody. That sounds so cool. That's freaking awesome. Hi, guys. I'm Utahime. As I mentioned before, you can follow me on the social medias to see what shenanigans I'm up to on a weekly basis at UTAHIME. Utahime cosplay pretty much everywhere except on Twitter if you're still on there. At Brianna DeCosta there. To list the things that I did not mention at the beginning of the stream, Mondays, I'm also too on the Modifish channel for Winter of Adam, a fabulous campaign with some fabulous people, Wastelanders, where I play a child of Adam, Crazy Maggie, Magdalena Suarez, who is a devout follower, and she's going to evangelize all across this wasteland. So yeah, see those shenanigans? It's rather hilarious to see her try and attempt, and it's failing. But on Tuesday, when I'm not here on the Red Hair Inn, you can catch me over at the initiative order for the beginning of our Power Rangers Supernova campaign, where I play the Yellow Ranger, Nicole Freeman, and I am super excited because of the fact that I've always wanted to play Yellow Ranger. So this is me getting to live out that fantasy. Yes, we're all about Power Ranger realness. And then if you want to join me over on Open Circuit Studios on Wednesdays, we have our Leverage campaign that's still going on strong. We're getting close to the finale, you guys, so it's going to be heating up like crazy. I play Locke, the thief hacker, who is absolutely insane, but lovable nonetheless. So yeah, so definitely join us over there on Wednesday. We have Beyond the Mountain Shadow. It's a One Ring campaign that was fully funded thanks to all of your contributions. So thank you for that. Really, really awesome campaign that's going to be released soon. So stay tuned for that on Nat One Fun. And there's some other things to come. Can't announce it quite yet, but they will be announced soon. So definitely check my socials for information. And I'm going to pass it along to everyone's favorite bard, other than Perrin.
I was gonna say lies and slander. Hi everyone, Eddie, known humbly across the socials as Discount Bard, a humble vaudevillian vagabond with a passion for storytelling, spreading chaos and shenanigans wherever I go. Actor, voice artist, real life jack of all trades, master of none. I get myself into trouble all sorts of places. A lot of times you can find me on twitch.tv/discountbard, where I do my own content, doing a lot of various games and antics depending on what my current fixation is. On that note, happy Pride, everyone! We are doing some fundraising for Trans Lifeline in association with the Good Vibes Tribe, so if you do stop by our channel, there is a fundraising link over there, so definitely be sure to check that out. Streamings have been a little bit sporadic because adult life is hard, but we're making it happen where we can, and it's going to be running throughout the month of June, so if you can support it, please, by all means do. Otherwise, I'm here as our lovely little Butterball art and keep myself into all sorts of trouble. So let's go ahead and end my story, that's what I'm sticking to, and pass it along.
Hello and good night. I'm Lizzie Donahue. I have been Orchid. You will see me here in 2 weeks on Tuesday. Otherwise, you won't see. And that's all I have to say. You can find me on social media at the Lizzie LT. Yes, it is. Okay, Jay, you go.
Oh, well, the only way to learn is by playing. The only way you wait. Sorry, keep forgetting
Are
where
you
I'm
playing
at.
Game Changer now?
All right, I keep getting mixed up of which charisma I need to use. But I guess if you did know me by now you should. But just in case, it's Jaden King. You can find me on all social media at It's Jaden King, doing all kinds of things TTRPG related. I'm a TTRPG professional and industry coach, teaching you all things you need from writing, developing, storytelling, and then some, working with my partner and girlfriend, Beth the Bar, doing all kinds of wonderful things. We're excited for upcoming projects. As some may already know, our Kickstarter had funded, and we're getting closer and closer to that finishing of what, at least a hopeful, delightful draft with all the work we've been doing, playtesting and otherwise. Daughter of Frankenstein, a dark opera 5e experience, taking the story of what happens after Victor Frankenstein through his daughter and then some. A focus on femme representation and Black characters in a beautiful way that we're super excited about, using something we've developed, our narrative storytelling system, applying narrative mechanics to D&D in a way you can enjoy a story more than the dice rolls while still rolling epic dice experiences. We have also so many other things coming up. We'll be at D&D in the Castle, and wow, in 1 month from today, we'll be at D&D in a Castle, and I believe there are still a few seats left across the board. I know I have at least one seat, and Beth has one. And if you decide you want to go to check out D&D in a Castle, we have discount codes for some wonderful people. So, ping us, let us know, and we'll see what we can get set up with all that. We're doing a bunch of other things, which I guess I'll announce as we get closer to the next stuff. So for now, it's Jaden King, and be on the lookout.
And I am your innkeeper and dungeon master, Logan Hanley. You can find me here, also here, and here, because this is where I'm hanging out most of my time. If you are new to the channel, definitely drop a follow. We'll be around. I am taking next week off to go visit family in Chicago, but when I come back the following week, plan to kick things back off. Lots of world building and writing for Lior and stuff like that.
And maybe we can, I guess find a reason to keep dwarfs in Lior. I don't know.
If we're gonna have flying penguins, we have to have dwarves. That's the trade-off.
Fine.
It's a trade-off. Fine. There.
We both agree, though, that humans don't need to be there, so that's cool.
Nope, we're going to get rid of humans. I don't know why Ronan is writing all that lore for humans when we just, no, get that out there. But no, we'll be doing some of that. Have some community games going on as well. And then, that's about it. I don't know.
Check us out. Come join the
We're gonna be playing
Diablo.
We're gonna be playing Diablo 4 at some point. Which is gonna be fun. But yeah, check us out at the Red Heron. On
I'm just
all
sad
the
that I
social
have
stuff.
to go against Lilith.
I know, she's really cool. We're gonna go raid the Initiative Order. They're playing. What are they playing? Is Dresden's Fate? I don't know. Is this a system?
It's the Dresden Files.
Dresden Files. It's just in time. Dresden's Fate. It's a Dresden's Files. The TTRPG.
Oh,
I
it's
think.
a Fate Core.
Oh,
Fate Core game.
Fate Core game.
Yeah.
Dope. But they're awesome people. They're awesome, and they tell amazing stories over the Initiative Order. So definitely go spread some love and join the fun over there. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye, y'all.